latest scientific discoveries rendered belief in God irrelevant and shown that the biblical creation accounts are unreliable? Well, today I'm joined by Michael Gillen, and we're going to investigate this question in more detail. Michael, it's good to have you again.
Hey, good to see you, Jeff. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You know, as I just observe, it's like Christians look at creation and just marvel and see God's fingerprints. But a lot of times skeptics look at creation, or a lot of scientists seem to look at creation and seem to have a resistance to believing in God. Why would you say, what is your assessment of why that happens?
Well, it's interesting. You know, first of all, I want, just for the sake of your audience, to establish that even going back to about 1930, there was a survey of scientists, both in the physical sciences and in the biological sciences, and I think even in the humanities, but for sure the physical sciences, that asked scientists, do you believe in God? And do you believe in a personal God in particular? And something like 40% of scientists back then said
That's a
yes.
remarkably large number.
It is, and you know what's even more remarkable? That same survey has been repeated more recently, and that 40%, you know, right around there holds up. So I don't want people to have the impression that all scientists are atheists. Far from it.
I think that's a very common misconception.
40% of scientists who believe in a personal God, and more than that, believe in a, you know, kind of a deistic God or a hands-off God. So that's a pretty significant percentage. So I don't want all my colleagues smeared with this skepticism or atheism label that a lot of people have in mind.
Right, I think that's important.
But getting to your question, which is a good one, it's interesting. And I can only share with you what my experience has been. My experience has been that a lot of people who call themselves atheists really don't have a problem with God per se, or the idea that maybe an intelligent being is behind the creation of the universe. You dig deep and they have just kind of issues with authority. I think what I'm saying is that the mind of a skeptic and a mind of an atheist is far more complicated than just, I don't believe in God. I think if you dig deep, there's more than that.
Well, and that's in all honesty, that's the way Christians are too. I mean, to say we're unidimensional or one-dimensional would be a wrong thing. So you're saying that atheists and skeptics have a complexity in their thought process as well?
I think what any of us, whether we see ourselves as skeptics or believers, and we could spend a whole segment dissecting that, because frankly, everyone is a believer. Yeah, right. Even atheists are believers. Atheists are religious people. They just happen to believe that the universe either created itself or it came about through complicated random processes. But those beliefs cannot be proven, and so they're a kind of religious belief. Scientism is a religious belief that the only reality we have is matter and energy. There's nothing that lies beyond that. So we're all believers. But I think in my life, I've learned that wherever you fall on the spectrum of religious belief, you owe it to yourself. You really owe it to yourself to be open-minded. Just go in with an open mind. You know, Socrates said, follow the evidence. And I've always tried to live by that dictum, that I just try to follow the evidence with an open mind. Hey, where does it lead me? In my case, it led me to become a theoretical physicist. I love just learning about the universe. I still do. I love trying to understand what makes the universe tick.
It really is a fascinating place.
I mean, I feel like I'm the luckiest guy on earth that I'm able to be paid to do that. I mean, and then when you do that, you very quickly learn that the limits of science. So science is brilliant at answering certain questions, but it has its limits. And so if you want to know what lies beyond the questions that science is able to answer, then you're forced to go into this more spiritual realm, where all the religions offer different answers to these questions. And I have just found, again, following the evidence with an open mind, it's led me to be a scientist who's also a Christian.